Howdy folks. We're going to go over the procedure necessary to ship a tractor. There might be some point in time when a tractor needs service that you're not able to do yourself, and if the tractor needs to be shipped back to us here at Earth Tools, this is how you do it. Now, of course, if you received the tractor from us in the first place, it came in a tractor-sized box on a pallet that was kind of made for that box. We don't expect you to keep that packaging around very long, so if it's 5 years after the fact or something, and the tractor needs to come back here for some kind of service, then you can use just a standard pallet. Standard pallets are available just about any large store, big box store, anything like that, hardware store is going to have spare pallets sitting around that you can pick up for free usually. 48 by 40 inches is a standard size for the pallets. Usually they're 48 inches long by 40 inches wide. That's plenty big enough to ship a tractor on. It could even be a little smaller than that. But this is the procedure. So we've got our tractor here, and let's pretend it doesn't run. Now if it ran, I would start it up and just drive it onto this thing, but let's say it doesn't run for some reason. I can still get it up on here. Now I might, if I was really smart, put a couple 2x4s down in here to make sort of a little ramp. I'm just going to wrestle this thing up on here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lock the brake on one side, and then the other wheel still rolls, and I'll just roll it up on there. Then I'll lock the other wheel, release that wheel, and pull it up on there. Situated about in the middle, and turn the handlebars around. Of course, if you have a Grillo tractor, the procedure for turning the handle is a little different, but essentially the same. And then you want to drop these bars all the way down. This is very important. You don't want, the main rule of shipping something by freight pallet is no item on top of the pallet can hang off the edge of the pallet, because this pallet gets handled by forklifts when it's in the trucking system. So the forklift is going to come in here and it's going to slam against the edge of this pallet. And if there's any part of the tractor protruding over the edge of the pallet, that's what the forklift hits instead of the pallet. So things get bent and broken, and guess who's liable? Whoever put it on the pallet. So you want to take a look, make sure nothing's hanging off the edge. This is good over here. Our pallet is sticking out about a ½ inch past the tractor. So when somebody slams this side with a forklift, we're clear. When somebody slams this side with a forklift, we're clear. Okay, now that we know that the tractor is in the right position, I'm going to put it in gear to keep it from rolling. There's second gear on that tractor. If the tractor has any kind of parking brakes, you can also lock that. Although look, that put us in violation. That lever coming back went over the edge of the pallet. So I'm not going to lock the parking brake. We'll just rely on it being in gear. You could, if you wanted, take some chunks of wood and some hammers, or I'm sorry, a hammer and some nails, and you could put chocks of wood here, put a nail in here and a nail in here, just nail that block down here, and you can do it on the other side as well to sort of block the wheel in to keep it from rolling. It's not a bad idea to put blocks on the outsides of both wheels just to keep the tractor from shifting left to right. So blocking it in is a good idea, and also you want to tie it down somehow. Now, here at Earth Tools, when we ship something, we use this nylon banding material when we have a ratchet crank and crimps to put on it. We don't expect you to have that sort of stuff lying around, but most people will have access to either rope or wire, and this is good enough. You just need to tie the thing down to keep it from shifting around on the pallet. So these are pretty short pieces of wire I've got here, but they will suffice to tie the bumper. The bumpers are tubular on just about all these tractors, and if you make a loop around here, loop it together. And what I would do then, I didn't bring a pliers for this video, but you can just, where it's twisted, you can grab it with a pliers and just keep twisting it and twist it tighter and tighter to draw the ends of the wire up so it makes a nice tight junction there. I'm just twisting the top of it now, but if you put a pliers on down here and start twisting, it'll twist the bottom up and just make the whole thing nice and tight. So you would do a loop like that on each side, just tie each side of the bumper down to the pallet slat. And then you can also do the same thing for the wheels of the tractor. The wheels on all of these tractors are open in the center. That is, there's a space between the inner hub and the outer rim, and you can run a piece of wire through here, down under the pallet slat, and this wire is not long enough, so I'd have to loop it together, but you get the idea. If you have long enough pieces of wire, you just bring it up through there, bring the wire back to itself, and do the same loop, tie it together, and then use your pliers to twist it nice and tight. Do that on each side. So if you're anchored down in 4 points, 2 on the bumper, 1 on each wheel, you got some chocks on there, you've got it in gear. The other thing you want to make sure of is that the gas is either, well, really the gas should be drained out. So if it's a gas engine, there's always a drain on the bottom of the carburetor. Right, this is a Honda engine, so you've got a drain screw right here, this one that's kind of at a 45-degree angle to the carburetor. The one on the bottom actually holds the fuel bowl on. This one is the drain, so if you remove that, it'll drain the entire fuel system, just drain it into a pot or whatever. If it's a diesel engine, you'll just have to pull one of the fuel lines off at the bottom of the tank. There's just a rubber hose, you just work it off with the pliers and drain it out that way. Oil does not need to be drained for shipping. Oil is okay, it's legal to ship. So once it's on a pallet and secured, give us a call here at Earth Tools, and we will create what's called a bill of lading. The bill of lading is the freight documents that the freight company needs to process the shipment. We'll create that on this end, and we'll email you a copy and print it out. And you want to print at least 2, if not 3 of these things. You need one for your own records to prove that the shipment was made. One to the driver, the freight driver will take with him. And you can use a third one if you'd like to fold up and use as an address label, because the freight document, this bill of lading, has the to and from addresses on there, and you fold it up so just those are showing. You can tape it onto the machine or tape it onto the pallet, because of course you need an address label. If you don't want to use that, you can just improvise your own address label by writing out, the from and to addresses on a piece of paper and just taping that onto the pallet someplace. And then once we email you the bill of lading, we will also set up the pickup to have the freight company come to your place and get it. And if you request, we will also have them call prior to getting there so they can make an appointment to set it up. Then the thing will come back to Earth Tools. We'll take care of it and get it back to you. Thanks for watching.